In this video, I'm revealing how over 2,000 women lost more than 20,000 kilograms naturally and what actually works if you're over 40. Now, I'm Josh and we have coached thousands of women over the age of 40 through perimenopause, menopause, even post-menopause. So this might be a question you might be thinking to yourself. Why am I now in my 40s or 50s and the old diets that I used to do, they stopped working? So this might have happened to you. In your 20s or 30s, you've tried to lose weight. You did it successfully. Maybe you tried fasting, maybe you did keto, maybe you cut carbs, maybe you did Jenny Craig, maybe you did Weight Watchers. You tried something and it used to work, you lost the weight. Maybe it was after kids or maybe just the weight come on and you wanted to lose it. But now trying the exact same approach, you're not seeing results. Maybe the results are slow or even you're still slowly gaining that weight year after year, even though you feel like you're eating healthy and you're still doing your training. Now this is very normal. Most women go through this change. For whatever reason, you're like, my body has changed. Now there are actual reasons. So number one, your metabolism slows down. Naturally, when you're in your 20s and 30s, imagine that your metabolism is very similar to a campfire. You've got wood on the fire, it's burning strong, that's your metabolism. But now you find that your metabolism isn't working as effectively. Maybe your sleep's not that great, maybe you're feeling a little bit more lethargic, energy's not as good, and what's happening is that raging campfire is getting smaller and smaller, and you might find that you're gaining more and more weight. Now, unfortunately, if you just keep doing the old things and you don't actually work on your metabolism, you're going to find that you just keep doing the same thing, getting worse results. So that's why we want to start fixing things up. So what actually is happening when your metabolism slows down? Well, one of the biggest things is your body's ability to burn calories just at rest, just naturally, what we call our basal metabolic rate. You burn less calories when you get older. That means you can eat the same amount of food, do the same amount of exercise, and then start gaining weight, which is frustrating. And then to add on top of that, you have higher cortisol levels. So going through the hormonal changes, certain things happen. Estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, these things start to drop. Cortisol levels start to get really high. That is our stress hormone. And generally speaking, when we have these hormonal changes, you can be gaining weight through the midsection. And this is what we call stress belly, hormonal belly, cortisol belly. Now, not only does cortisol start to affect where you're gaining weight, particularly the belly fat that we all want to lose, it also starts to affect your sleep. Now, when you have poor sleep, unfortunately, cortisol stays high. So sleep is the reset button. As we know, you're going through these changes. Sometimes your sleep's affected. Hot flushes, waking up in the night, getting up to go to the toilet, and broken sleep. These things combined leads to a bit of a mess when it comes to fat loss. And this is where the frustration comes in. People are actively trying their best to lose the weight and they're getting next to nowhere. They're hitting these plateaus. Plateaus go for weeks, they go for months, and eventually people just give up and go, stuff it. Why am I bloody doing this? Putting in all this effort if I'm not going to get the results. I feel like I'm doing all the right things. I'm eating healthy, I'm exercising, I'm doing what used to work, and I'm getting nothing. Now, if any of this sounds like you, then you're in the right place. All of the ladies that we work with are going through similar things before they got started. This is why we're putting this together. So, what are some of the solutions? Number one, consider your metabolism to be kind of like that campfire. You go camping, you're roasting the marshmallows. If that campfire starts to get smaller, starts to go out, are you going to put more wood on it or are you going to let it go out if you want it to go all night? Well, you're probably going to stack the fire up. You're going to boost up that flame. So the same thing happens with your metabolism. If you're consistently under eating, not eating enough protein, not eating enough calories, if you're fasting, if you're missing meals, what do you think is going to happen to that fire? Is it going to get bigger or is it going to get smaller? What's going to happen is your metabolism is going to decrease. Now, when your metabolism starts to decrease, imagine all the functions of the body starting to slow down because your metabolism just cannot keep up because we're not feeding the body what it needs. We've heard that we need to eat less in order to lose weight. But what a lot of people don't tell you is that if you eat too little, you're going to slow your metabolism. And look at it like this. Metabolism runs on calories and food. Hormones runs on calories and proteins and fats and foods as well. So if you're not fueling the body efficiently or feeding it enough, you're going to have more cravings, you're going to have more cortisol, worse sleep, worse energy, and then body fat coming on. You're going to be gaining weight. So losing weight now, 40 plus, is obviously very different to the 20s. Just because it worked back then doesn't mean it's going to work now. You can't just exercise more, eat less, and have the amazing results that you used to because your body has changed. Metabolism has slowed down. You're going through hormonal changes that you didn't have 10, 20, 30 years ago. So what do you do? How do you fix it? So what I tell our clients, and we've trained thousands of women over 40, is you want to start with at least 3 meals a day. A breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. Now, if you want to have snacks, that's totally fine. But what I find in all of our clients, if they eat too little or have not enough food, what tends to happen is they're not fueling their metabolism. So 3 meals a day is going to help out with the metabolism. The second thing is going to be if you have cravings, more often than not, cravings come from under eating at the start of the day, not eating enough, or having low protein. So if you find your cravings are mainly in the afternoon, in the evening, more than likely that is going to be what's holding you back. So what we want to do, we want to make sure that we're having protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, because everybody has a bit of a different lifestyle, some people are sedentary, some people are active, some people move around for work, others sit behind the desk. There's not going to be a one size fits all when it comes to your calories, but what I can tell you, if you're eating less than 1,200 calories per day, think of it like this. Little toddlers who are like 2, 3, 4-year-old, they eat more than 1,200 calories per day. So you being a grown adult, eating less than a toddler, do you think that's going to be good for your body? Probably not. So we need to make sure that we're eating more than 1,200 calories per day. So there is such thing as too little calories, and obviously too many calories leads to weight gain. So it's about finding that nice, sweet calorie deficit for your life, your level of activity. What I want you to start focusing on isn't, am I eating the right things? It's more, are you eating enough of the correct things? Because you can eat salads all day, every day and not lose weight. You can cut your carbs, cut your sugar and still not lose weight. You can even go vegetarian or vegan and not lose weight. So the problem isn't necessarily, are you eating the wrong things? It can be. It's more often than not, you're either not eating enough of the right things or you're eating too much in general. Even too much healthy food can lead to weight gain. Now, touching on alcohol just for a second. I know sometimes life can be stressful. It's nice to have a wine after work or a bottle on the weekend. Here's the thing. Look, I'm not your dad. You can do whatever you want to do. But as long as you know, you can make the best decision. So when it comes to alcohol, 1 to 2 standard drinks of alcohol can shut down your fat burning mechanisms for up to 48 hours. So what we have seen in our clients, ladies that were like drinking a glass a night after work, they're probably doing like 6 to 7 glasses per week. They were finding it very, very difficult to lose weight because alcohol has a couple of negative effects. Yes, it's good for getting a bit of a buzz, but what happens is it affects your ability to lose weight. It affects your hormones, it affects your metabolism, it affects your sleep. Now what happens then, that all together, is that going to be good for your weight loss? Probably not. So there we have a very simple strategy. We've covered metabolism, we've covered hormones, we've covered why it's different now versus when you were younger, and a couple of things we can do around the food. We will go into more detail and more videos, but that's it for today. If you're over 40 and you're looking for more strategies, subscribe now, and I'll see you in the next one.